Cyberworld keeps turning all their new toys into homages of old characters, and I am loving it. We have just had a good amount of new stuff come out. I'm a bit late to it. We just had a new Starscream. That's what's kind of spurred me into making it, because I think there's enough now to warrant a good length video, and maybe we'll come back in a bit if they do some more reveals, because they've been doing it since it came out, and god, this is going to keep coming. So, obvious one would be Chop Shop just being Venom, but that's more of just a name thing. I feel like they probably just made the design to be Venom, but because they have to call him Venom, that's not going to sell, and Chop Shop sounds cooler. But the stuff I'm loving is that new Ultra Magnus. He's one of my favourites because he is just Energon Wingsaber. He has the same shoulders, the same big shoulder pauldrons. Granted, they're more of a Magnus thing. I can see if you don't believe it from that. He has the same, block things on the side of his legs. They're a lot bigger in the Magnus, but that's there. He has some other stuff, I think, as well. I do really hope we get a redeco of him. I think it would be a sin. Cyberworld is bad for redecos. They only really do the same character with clear plastic. Start redecoing your shit, Cyberworld. He has the exact same alt mode as well. Exact same. It's so clear. I feel like they looked at him and they went, well, Wingsaber's not going to sell on the shelves. Let's just stick a Magnus head on it. And they've been doing that for a lot of them. They did that for, I think, Lockdown as well. Lockdown 100% is meant to be Wild Wheel. Lockdown has never been brown, apart from the occasional Age of Extinction toy version of Lockdown, which this is not meant to be. This is not meant to be a toy Lockdown, or an Age of Extinction Lockdown. 100% he is, it's just meant to be Wild Wheel. They're a brown cowboy with an actual cowboy hat on the head sculpt. I brought this up to people, and they've said, no, the hat's different. Wild Wheel has a really wide brim on his hat. Lockdown can't have a wide brim on his hat, because his hat needs to fit inside for alt mode. He isn't big enough to have a removable hat like Wild Wheel. I've had far too many heated discussions about this. Somebody said, well, he turns into a wolf now. That's not a Lockdown thing, that's not a Wild Wheel thing, that's just a Cyberworld thing. They're turning everybody into animals. It's definitely just the animals for this theme, that's why he's one. It's not, Lockdown's never been a wolf before. Wild Wheel, maybe they just decided Wild Wheel didn't fit because he has Wheel in the name. But yeah, brown cowboy, who has a built-in hat on his head sculpt, that's just Wild Wheel, with a new name. Another one, Jazz. I've had a lot of people bring this up. I've spoke to a lot of people on this. This is the big one everyone knows. Jazz is pretty much just Polar Claw. We all know that one. It's a simple one. He gave him a new chest, put his chest in red, and give him a new head, and he's Polar Claw. I think he's more of an homage. 100% just more of an homage. There's other ones in here that are definitely meant to be that guy, but yeah, he's just homaging him. Now, that new Starscream just got revealed. I know he's the Last Night Megatron retooled, but when I saw him, instantly, I thought, nobody's going to know what this is, but instantly I thought of the Gobot, Razor from Gobots. If you don't know him, really cool plane with helicopter blades on top. He has a similar color scheme. At first I thought this was going to be a new Razor, mostly because I've just been wanting them for years in Cyberworlds, giving us all the stuff we want. But definitely different colors and different alt mode. The thing that made me think it at first glance is that weird hammer thing on top for people to grab onto looks just like Rotor's, and that's where they are on Rotor's alt mode. I don't think we're going to get a recolor into them. Even if they do some other ones, don't think we're going to get a recolor. But God, someone's going to make a sick as hell looking custom. And I just want to say, because I'm quick on the draw with this, my idea first. That's credit to me, Hasbro. Another one everybody's agreeing with, seemingly, is Mirage is just Riptide. This isn't one I thought of, this is one that I saw. Yeah, it does just look like they wanted to make Riptide, but then some executives went, no, 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 Riptide's not going to sell, we need to have a popular name, so they put Mirage in. I think it's so clear. Like, a lot of the Cyberworld stuff is trying to stick to doing similar colour schemes to the original characters. They didn't do that with him. They made him just Riptide colours. This isn't even like a Wing Saber sort of thing where it looks like it's Wing Saber but in a different colour scheme. He's just Riptide. They just stuck a different name on the box. I didn't have this in my notes, but he came packed in with an Optimus Prime, who was a recolor of that Scourge. I originally was going to put him on, but I don't think he's similar enough to Tidal Wave colours for me to actually count that. So anybody bringing that up, there's your little mention of him. I don't personally see it, but I can see why he should be Tidal Wave, especially because big ship, Tidal Wave. Also, pirate theming, Tidal Wave was the pirates' ship, and the new one, the new pirate theme. They were all meant to kind of ride on Tidal Wave as their ship, and in Prime, their ship was called the Tidal Wave. So, yeah, that makes sense. The Space Pirate guys definitely would have fit in more if it was Tidal Wave, but it doesn't really look like him much, and maybe we'll get another repaint, but considering we already got one, I think that's the best we'll get. They never like to do repaints. Another obvious one, Cheetor, is just Tigatron. This is just continued mission from Hasbro to make people that look like Tigatron with a different name. They did it in Classics. I think it was Classics. There was a white tiger minicon. Didn't call him Tigatron. Did the same thing in Rise of the Beasts. Another white tiger. This one was a weaponizer. Didn't turn him into Tigatron. They just named him something else. Transformers has one singular white tiger guy that's well known and prominent, and they just don't use him. I understood it for the minicon because they don't like to reuse names for the minicon. The Rise of the Beast one I think is absurd because in that same line you had a little cheetah that turned into a sword and he was still named Cheetor. You had a little rhino who turned into a minigun and his name was still Rhinox. But you get a white tiger that turns into a bow and arrow and he's got to be something with arrow in the name. I think that was his name. It was like Arrow something. But yeah, that new Cheetor, definitely just Tigatron, but they just don't like naming Tigatron like his actual name for some reason. They better do him in yellow. I'm going to be pissed if they don't do him in yellow. That would be funny as hell if Cheetor's white and Tigatron's yellow. At least, please just at least do him into like normal tiger colors so we can have a new Tigertron. We've had him a couple times. I think we had a Swapticon or something of Tigertron. But we did get the original color schemes of Tigatron, which is just Tigatron, off of his new mold. It's so confusing, especially with me being bad at speaking. Tigatron is white, Tigertron is in normal tiger colors, and we got a new toy of him, so he's still relevant. So if you want to just not have a Tigatron kicking around, do a new Tigertron. That'd be cool. Let's see, Galvatron. I've had people talk to me about him before, about how he's just Scourge from Cybertron. No, I don't think Galvatron's Scourge. I think Galvatron is Classic's Tripticon. He is in similar colors, and he looks more like Tripticon than Scourge, especially three-headed dragon. That's the Scourge thing, and who is Scourge's main recolor? Classic's Tripticon. I don't want to hear anyone bring up R.I.D. Bruticus from, what was that, Generations? Or Thrilling Fairy or something. Don't want that, don't care. The main recolor in me is always going to be Classic Strepticon, who was a recolor of the Legends toy, but let's not get into that. Yeah, be cool to get a Galvatron turn into Tripticon. I don't think they've reused... They don't really reuse molds, they just reuse transformations, so maybe whenever you give us a Scourge recolor, instead of making them transparent plastic, maybe make them Tripticon. That'd be cool. Last one on the list I got, I feel like there's probably more. I can see some stuff with maybe the female Ratchet being meant to be somebody else. I could see that being maybe like Pharma, but Pharma's a jet, and they're not going to do a toy of Pharma. But white and orange is probably going to be somebody else. But the last one on here, for actual put work into researching it, Grimlock is definitely just an homage to Beast Wars Megatron. He's like the only other guy that, apart from some mini-cons, which also have the same sort of transformation scheme to that, he's the only other guy that actually has a dinosaur head as the hand. It's definitely just meant to be an homage. It's not like they wanted to do Megatron and couldn't. Although it would be funny if there was a third Megatron in the initial release. But yeah, that's something. I can see them doing something weird with it. I hope they do a recolor of that Grimlock and Megatron. All it would be is a new head, and it would be really good. I understand if they don't do a new head. I'd be fine with just the recolor into purple. I don't have that Grimlock. I've messed with him once or twice. What I want out of that would just be, I'd buy him if he was purple, definitely. What I want is just a new Beast Wars Megatron out of that mode. That'd be cool. We have a Primal. We don't have any Predacons yet. Scorponok doesn't count as a Predacon. It's definitely meant to be a G1 Scorponok. We have a lot of Maximals coming in. Arachnid's not a Predacon. Arachnid is 100% not a Predacon. Arachnid's always been a Decepticon and always will be. If they wanted a Predacon version, they could have went with Tarantulas or Black Arachnia, but that's definitely more Tarantulas colors. But I'm not getting that one on here either. I've seen it. I get what everyone's saying, but that's definitely meant to be one Arachnid, and the reason they used Arachnid is because she was N1. I get that it has some purple on it, but so did Transformers 1 Arachnid. But yeah, that's everybody I could spot. I know I've went through a lot of it, but I feel like there's probably some other homages out there that I haven't actually spotted up on. And with how often stuff has been coming out for Cyberworld, and how they just don't reveal it and it just shows up in a store, would not be shocked if there was a whole new wave going to appear by the time this video actually goes up. Because this video I'm recording a bit in advance. It's right after Starscream comes out. So if they drop some new stuff, maybe I'll do another one of these, because this was actually pretty fun. I've needed an excuse to go back and look at some more older toys that I'm not actively working on any plans for. And I also like just keeping up with Cyberworld, because they got some really cool toys out. But yeah, if anybody I missed, which there probably is, there's probably somebody that looks like Hound or something, let me know.